So did I, Bob.
The BBB. It's where you go to know.
Thanks for making Local News 8 your #1 news station.
Starting your 5 o'clock hour with breaking news, a live look from Downey, where law enforcement throughout the Bannock County area is searching for a missing woman last seen by a neighbor in the early morning hours yesterday. How you can help right now on Local News 8 at 5.
You're watching Local News 8 at 5. Local people, local news.
Right now at 5, Bannock County Sheriff's deputies and search and rescue personnel look for any signs of this woman. Take a close look at this picture. 70-year-old Ruth Jensen has been missing since she was last seen by a neighbor at 3 o'clock Saturday morning in Downey. Tonight, they need the public's help finding her. Local News 8's Michaela Leung has been with searchers all day. Michaela, we understand that there might have been a sighting of this woman in Blackfoot.
Chris, I'm here in Downey where Bannock County Search and Rescue are searching for 7. Right now, they're looking into a lead of a possible sighting in the Blackfoot area. Jensen was last seen on Saturday around 3 a.m. Family members tell me that she has dementia. I was able to speak with her daughter and granddaughter today.
No one has seen or heard from her since Saturday at 3 a.m. and we were just hoping that we can get the public's assistance if anyone's seen her. There is a possibility that she will be found disoriented or confused.
Anyone who sees Jensen is urged to call Bannock County Sheriff's Office. Live in Downey, I'm Michaela Leung.
Michaela, I do have one question for you. Do you have any other information about that possible sighting in the Blackfoot area, where she was seen, maybe what she was wearing?
Right now, authorities are getting a lot of leads, so this one seems like the most solid one right now. So they're just continuing to look into that before, verifying anything.
All right. Thank you, Michaela. We'll keep you updated throughout the newscast. We want to give you another look at Jensen tonight. She was last seen wearing brown plaid sweater, blue jeans, and black and white Nike tennis shoes. Again, as Michaela said, if you know where she is or you have any information about where she's at, you're asked to call the Bannock County Sheriff's Office or 911. New tonight, all boat ramps at American Falls Reservoir are back open after a fire Saturday. Take a look at this picture from the Powell County Sheriff's Office. They tell us a boat caught fire and then spread to a dock. No one was hurt, and hazmat crews say they didn't cause any environmental hazards. The marina was closed for 5 hours while crews worked to clean this up. All right, we want to talk to Aaron O'Shaughnessy now, who is tracking some thunderstorms rolling through the area, particularly down in that American Falls area.
Yep, you're right, Chris. We are seeing some thunderstorm activity today, and that pattern could continue through this afternoon. So a little bit earlier today, we were seeing that activity pretty strong near American Falls, and we've also seen some activity outside of Idaho Falls and Blackfoot as well. We've seen about 17 lightning strikes in the past 30 minutes for this part of our region. We've also seen some activity in Montana as well. Now, it's going to stay relatively calm tonight. Wind-wise, with the exception if you are in the path of one of those thunderstorms, we could see wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Low tonight around 50, and it's going to stay, like I mentioned, light winds with the chance of those thunderstorms. Going into tomorrow, though, we're going to see some more sunshine with a high in those upper 80s, and again, winds aren't going to be a huge issue. I'll send it back to you, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Aaron. Around the region this evening, it has been over a year since Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski was appointed 2 personal bodyguards following the shooting at the Orlando Pulse nightclub. Some city council members now think it might be time to reevaluate the cost of the security detail and whether it's even necessary. The mayor's security team has cost taxpayers about $163,000. That includes the salaries of those 2 full-time officers, their overtime costs, and travel reimbursement. The Salt Lake Police Chief believes Biskupski's security is necessary. Biskupski made national headlines for being Salt Lake's first openly gay mayor. 1 person is dead after a single vehicle crash on I-84 Saturday. It happened near milepost 16 just before 4 o'clock. Edward Luhon of Wyoming was driving east in a pickup truck. Idaho State Police say the truck experienced a failure and Luhon lost control. The truck went through the median, across the westbound lanes, and through a cement barrier where it rolled and landed on its top. A passenger was taken to West Valley Medical Center in Caldwell for their injuries. They both were wearing seatbelts. Around the nation tonight, investigators are working to identify what could be the remains of a man who went missing during a Colorado rafting trip. ABC's Stephanie Ramos tells us the man's friends say he disappeared while searching for hidden treasure.
This morning, a Colorado Springs man is still missing after his friends and family say he was on the hunt for buried treasure.
Something happened down there that day and we just want answers.
Dave Gambrell says his friend Eric Ashby moved to Colorado just to search for $2 million worth of gold and jewels, supposedly hidden in the Rocky Mountains.
The chest is full of emeralds and diamonds and rubies and sapphires.
31-year-old Ashby is reportedly one of many treasure seekers. His family says he used clues mapped 2010 poem by New Mexico art dealer and collector Forrest Fenn.
I guarantee you, when somebody finds that chest, they're going to be shocked.
Authorities say Ashby was on the Arkansas River with 3 other people last month when his raft capsized. The others made it to safety. Ashby did not. His sister telling ABC News overnight, "Something sinister happened that day at the river and I am looking for justice for my brother." Officials discovered human remains Friday afternoon, but they have not yet been identified. The group rafting with Ashby have not been charged with any crime. Fenn's promise of riches blamed in 2 more deaths. Pastor Paris Wallace and Randy Bilyeu, both found dead in New Mexico after searching for that treasure. Authorities speaking out in June after Wallace's death, asking Fenn to put an end to this mystery before anyone else gets hurt.
I want Mr. Fenn to retrieve the treasure or call off the hunt after he retrieves the treasure.
But Fenn telling ABC News overnight he compiled a list of suggestions that will make people safer when they go into the mountains.
Emergency crews are battling a wildfire in Northern California. This blaze near Jamestown has forced the evacuation of a couple homes, also forced some road closures. There are evacuation advisories for residents along the other roads in the area. Officials say the fire has grown to 600 acres, 30% contained. The U.S. Forest Service has joined the emergency response. A resident in a senior apartment complex in Oakland, California are relieved after a 68-year-old resident. Residents in the community say his customers were allegedly young women in their teens and 20s. One woman says she saw it all unfold one night from a window.
Hand over small packets of drugs to people, get money, car drives away, and then 15, 20 minutes later, another car comes through. So continual traffic coming through here buying drugs from him.
Like drive-through drugs?
Drive-through drugs.
Authorities arrested the man in late June and found what appeared to be cocaine, black tar, heroin, and marijuana inside his car and inside his senior apartment. Court records say he is a 14-time felon and has pleaded not guilty. A 17-year-old carjacking suspect was shot and injured by sheriff's deputies in Florida. A deputy pulled over the teen and shot him because he feared for his life. A teenage girl was also with the man. She was not hurt in the shooting. Officials say the teen was driving a stolen car and were followed by police and deputies. They tried to stop the car, but it spun out. A deputy started running to stop the car before the teen lurched forward towards him.
When you're driving that car, which is about 4,000 pounds or so, give or take, that's a weapon.
The shooting is under investigation. The suspect, when he recovers, could face charges of attempted murder and grand theft. Rallies to support the nation's health care law were held across the country over the weekend. In Washington, the Our Lives on the Line rally brought out advocates, celebrities, activists, and lawmakers. The event came in the wake of the failed GOP-led Senate effort to pass a bill to chip away at the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi offered many thanks to those that helped to turn back repeal efforts.
On behalf of all those in Congress who are fighting for good health for our country, health care and good health, to the Democrats in the Senate, the Democrats in the House, the Republicans in the Senate who voted with us. I also want to thank each and every one of you. That is my main purpose.
The Washington rally and others across the U.S. had been planned since June. The Our Lives on the Line effort is made up of progressive and healthcare groups. Tomorrow marks the start of a revamped Washington White House operation. ABC's David Wright says the new chief of staff is facing many problems on his first day.
A new week begins, and the Trump administration is hoping to turn the page. The new White House Chief of Staff, General John Kelly, takes over from Reince Priebus on Monday.
I think the president wants to go a different direction, wants a little bit more discipline, a little more structure in there.
For one thing, a bit more structure may help the White House with its legislative agenda, including the push to repeal and replace Obamacare. Despite a devastating defeat Friday, literally at the hand of Senator John McCain, President Trump is still hoping for a revote, urging Sunday, don't give up, Republican senators. The world is watching. Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price.
He is demanding that Congress act. If we could fix it by regulation, we would do so. But it takes an act of Congress.
Another worry for the administration, North Korea. U.S. warplanes took to the air over the Korean peninsula in direct response to Pyongyang's latest missile launch. An intercontinental ballistic missile, possibly capable of reaching the U.S. So, the U.S. Missile Defense Agency is testing countermeasures. In this test of the THAAD missile defense system conducted Sunday in Alaska, the THAAD missile successfully intercepted its target. Here at home, ABC News has learned that top White House aides are urging the president to solve another problem by moving Attorney General Jeff Sessions over to Secretary of Homeland Security, the job being vacated by his new chief of staff. Any effort to move Sessions out of the Department of Justice would likely be seen here in Washington as a precursor to firing the special counsel, Bob Mueller, who's looking into Russia, and that would cause a political firestorm here. David Wright, ABC News, the White House.
Still ahead, speaking out, a former employee is opening up about the inspection process of the Fireball Carnival ride. And a live look over a cloudy Idaho fall. Thunderstorms rolling through parts of the area. Aaron O'Shaughnessy tracking those storms. We'll have everything you need to know weather-wise in just a few minutes.
Have a news story or a tip? Call us today.
Let Wingers cater your next event with their amazing wings, sticky fingers, salads, and more. Now that's freaking amazing.
It's the final days to save big at the back-to-school sale at Furniture Row. Find beds and kids' beds starting at just $199. Quality-made twin mattresses for just $99. Futons for just $99. Sofas for as little as $299. And dining groups for only $199. Plus, save up to 50% on all outdoor living. And up to 3 years, no interest. Hurry into the final days of the back-to-school sale at Furniture Row, home of Denver Mattress, your Tempur-Pedic elite retailer.
Listen. All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize
you feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize
unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you. Suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just
listen.
The sensor on the bike indicated that my heart rate was very erratic, and coupled with the feeling of a pounding in my chest.
I was out of breath and I had to stop. My husband said something was wrong.
I didn't realize they were heart symptoms. I started with a rapid heartbeat, dizziness, lightheadedness. The episodes started to be more frequent and started to last longer.
A former ride employee for Amusements of America is speaking out. That's the company that owns the Fireball. You'll remember that it broke at the Ohio State Fair on Wednesday, threw people off, and killed one person. Tara Morgan sat down with the former employee who said this is not the first time the Fireball has had issues.
This company is a disaster waiting to happen. This does not surprise me at all.
This person says they worked for Amusements of America for nearly a decade. The same company that owns the Fireball ride, now under the microscope after a gondola detached from the sweeping arm Wednesday night, throwing riders to the ground.
It broke my heart. because his son did not have to die. And those people did not have to get injured.
Amusements of America debuted the Fireball in 2002.
I do know that they have had issues with that Fireball in the past. I have seen it rock in the past.
The former worker says they've traveled with Amusements of America to different fairs, including the Ohio State Fair, and witnessed rides go up. The former worker says the Fireball is balanced on wooden blocks.
It's water weighted. They fill, the legs are filled with water, and that's what keeps it from tipping over.
The former worker says the company doesn't follow through with inspections like they should.
They don't take the time to really study the ride, to really check the ride over.
The Ohio State Fair released a copy of the Amusements of America renewed 2014 contract. Amusements of America must give recent pictures of rides and records of maintenance.
I would not put my own children on these rides. After what I've seen with the years of being there and neglect on some of the rides.
A spokesman for Amusements of America says KMG, who is the fireball manufacturer based in the Netherlands, will be stateside this week. Amusements of America is facing a lawsuit in Tennessee as well. The lawsuit filed accuses the company of negligence for hitting power lines when setting up its Ring of Fire ride. The suit claims a powerful jolt seriously injured a man working on a different ride, and he wants $25 million.
Now, your first alert weather.
Taking a look at our Idaho Falls sky cam, you can see some dark clouds in the background. That's because we're seeing some thunderstorm activity across our region, and that pattern could continue through this afternoon. A current temperature of 85 degrees. Now, we are seeing that thunderstorm activity that I was talking about. Montana was also seeing some of that activity as well. The good news is it's not going to stick around for very much longer because we're going to be seeing a very dry work week. So lots more sunshine is on its way. Idaho Falls and Pocatello has seen an above average number of days that have temperatures up into the 90s compared to previous years in southeast Idaho. And this week, those areas could both see temperatures reach back up into those 90s again. Take a look at some of our current temperatures right now. Pocatello is currently at 91 degrees, Mackay 81, Chalice 87, Ketchum 84, Burley 95. Moisture levels are also expected to go down this week as well. Turning to some of our lows for tonight and highs for tomorrow, Preston is going to see a low of 57, Lava 57 as well, Soda Springs 47. Highs tomorrow are going to range anywhere from those upper 70s up into those mid 80s and low 90s. Jackson is going to see a high of 84 tomorrow. Potential for some isolated thunderstorms at Jackson as well. Driggs a high of 85. St. Anthony 88. Lows for tonight range from those mid 40s up into the mid 50s. Taking a look at Arco. Arco's going to see a high of 84 tomorrow. Mackay 84. Chalice 91. Lows for tonight range from those low 40s up into the high 50s. And we'll finish things up here in the Snake River Plain. Pocatello along with Idaho Falls are both going to see temperatures in those 90s tomorrow. Rigby's going to see a high of 88 tomorrow. And then lows for tonight for most of this part, they're going to stay in those upper 50s and low 60s. Let's go and take a look at those 8-day forecasts because we have a lot of sunshine on the way. We also have a ridge of high pressure building up in our region, which is going to contribute to that drier weather conditions that we are going to be seeing this week. Starting in Idaho Falls, we're going to see a high of 90 degrees on Tuesday. Nice clear skies Monday through next Saturday. Sunday and Monday, we'll start to see a little bit of cloud cover, but that sunshine is still going to be sticking around with temperatures this week staying in those upper 80s and low 90s. Lows for this week in Idaho Falls for the most part in those mid 50s. Salmon's going to see a high of 89 tomorrow. 20% chance Salmon could see some isolated thunderstorms on Tuesday. Wednesday through next Saturday, nice clear skies, some broken cloud cover on Sunday and Monday. But temperatures, again, are going to stay in those upper 80s and low 90s for this week. Things are going to stay relatively dry. We're not going to see a whole lot of rain this week across the region with the exception of just a few isolated thunderstorms. Taking a look at Rexburg. Rexburg is going to see a high of 89 tomorrow, and that nice clear sky pattern is going to continue right through Saturday. Lows for Rexburg for the most part are going to stay in those lower 50s and get up into the mid 50s by the time that we get to next weekend. Jackson's going to see a high of 84 tomorrow. Like I mentioned, there's a 20% chance that Jackson could see some of those isolated thunderstorms tomorrow. But besides that, we're going to see nice clear skies for the rest of the week. Saturday and Sunday, just a little bit of cloud cover. Temperatures in those lower 80s and upper 70s. And taking a look at Pocatello. Pocatello is another area that's going to see nice clear skies. Those temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer. For the most part, Pocatello is going to see temperatures in the low 90s, and then the lows for this week are going to stay in those mid 60s. So the afternoons are going to be pretty warm in Pocatello. Finish things up here in Blackfoot. Monday through Friday, nice clear skies. Saturday is also going to be a nice day out with a temperature of 90 degrees. Lows for Blackfoot this week, for the most part, are going to stay in those 50s. So lots of sunshine is on its way.
Lots and lots of sunshine.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with this forecast.
Yeah, it's a pretty good forecast if you like sunshine.
You are the bearer of good news.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Aaron. A manhunt is underway in Turks and Caicos for the gunman who shot an American tourist.
Skycam Network is sponsored by Hands of Hope Home Health and Hospice. Taking care of you, it's what we do. Carpet One is home of the beautiful guarantee. If you don't love your new floor, we will replace it free. Carroll Home Financial, your retirement specialists, planning for a financial peace of mind. And Curtis and Porter Law, injured in an accident? Make Paul your first call. Free consultation.
No one in the area is more committed to service than Phil Meter Toyota. Our new $1 million service department is proof, including 3 quick lube stations. With every oil change, we rotate your tires and run your car through our state-of-the-art car wash. Did I mention free fresh-baked cookies, coffee, or water, Wi-Fi, overstuffed leather chairs, 2 big screen TVs, and a fireplace in our waiting area? It's really too bad you only get to do it every 5,000 miles.
All right, contestants, the Great American Eclipse is fast approaching, and when it does, the moon's shadow will be moving across the face of the Earth at what speed?
What is 1 million miles an hour?
Ooh, I'm sorry, that is incorrect, but you're still in the running for some big prizes, and that goes doubly for you folks at home. Just go to localnews8.com or the Local News 8 app to play the Eclipse Trivia. Enter to win the grand prize and weekly prizes. Play today, localnews8.com or the Local News 8 app.
Get ready for the War Bonnet Rodeo August 3rd through the 5th. Thursday night is the Local News 8 Family Night at the Sandy Downs Arena. Gates open at 5. Lots of free, fun family games, activities, food, and giveaways that the whole family will enjoy. Face painting, a photo booth, carnival games, stick horse racing, straw maze, bounce houses, kids roping instruction, a mechanical bull, rodeo clowns, and local mascots will be in attendance. The rodeo begins at 8 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, August 3rd through the 5th.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Around the world tonight, Australia's Prime Minister says police have fooled a terrorist plot to blow up an airplane. 4 men are in custody and being questioned. Police say the plot is an Islamic-inspired, but they are not saying if it was a specific terrorist group that is involved. Authorities rounded up the 4 men in weekend raids in Sydney. They say they became aware of a conspiracy to crash a plane using an improvised device. Extra security measures are now in place at airports across the country. A 34-year-old Iraqi man started shooting in a nightclub in Germany this morning. 1 person is dead, 3 others are in critical condition. The suspect was killed by police in a shootout. One of the police officers was shot at but is not in life-threatening condition. Tonight, a manhunt in Turks and Caicos for the gunman who shot an American tourist. A Washington law firm confirms that its partner, Michael Jones, was attacked while vacationing with his family. ABC's Chuck Severson reports.
57-year-old Michael Jones arriving in Fort Lauderdale, medevac from the Caribbean island nation of Turks and Caicos after he was shot by masked gunmen during an armed burglary late Friday night.
We suspect 2 suspects had forcibly entered from the rear of the property, forced their way into the interior of the building.
Inside this villa, a luxury residence featuring breathtaking views of the ocean, Jones confronted at least one of the suspects.
What we don't know is why a shot was discharged.
When police arrived on the scene, they found a security guard outside the house, lightly bound with his own shoelaces. Investigators using security footage in the home hope it will help identify the suspects. Authorities say the burglars took a laptop, but nothing else. This is the second shooting of an American tourist in just weeks. A man from Alabama was also shot during a robbery while vacationing with his family.
When you come here, don't automatically assume that nothing can happen to you, because we have criminals.
Michael Jones lives in Washington, D.C. He's listed in stable condition at Memorial Regional Hospital in Hollywood, Florida. Chuck Severson, ABC News, New York.
Taking a live look over the city of Rexburg, thunderstorms roll into the area. You might have heard that rumble of thunder just a few minutes ago. Aaron O'Shaughnessy back after the break. With wind, the storms will arrive.
When fate is your enemy,
if you live, my daughter dies.
You have to fight.
So what's the plan?
At any cost.
Welcome down for murder. It's the only way I can save her.
The limited summer series, Somewhere Between. New Tuesday, 10, 9 Central, ABC.
The best thing at Check-A-Rama is everything, because I'm a single dad and I don't cook. The selection is fantastic. I have some picky eaters here, and they can go around and see what they like, what they don't like.
I like potatoes and gravy, chicken legs, pizza, fries, pina colada slushy.
The rule is they have to eat their meat, they have to eat their vegetables, and then they get to go get dessert.
The choice is yours at Check-A-Rama.
Cancer. We don't want to think about it, but I had to. Because you see, I was traveling, I was enjoying life. Long since my last PAP. When I was finally tested, we thought I might have cervical cancer. After worrying, no cancer. I was lucky. Women, please get a Pap test to check for cervical cancer and get the inside knowledge about gynecologic cancers for you and the people who care about you.
Local News 8 Sportsline is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers.
Toyota presents the sensations of summer. The perfect cars, trucks, and SUVs to get you to your favorite destinations. Like our best-selling RAV4. It earned NHTSA's 5-star safety rating, and it's an IIHS top safety pick for good reasons. Every RAV4 now features Toyota Safety Sensor standard equipment. Add in Toyota Care, Toyota's no-cost maintenance plan, along with these great limited offers, and you'll see why we call it sensational. Come see why so many drivers are choosing RAV4 for yourself at your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, a final look at our forecast.
Yep, so we can expect to see some thunderstorm activity today, but we could also see some sunshine sneaking its way in there as well. The good news is this thunderstorm activity is not going to continue very long because it's going to be nice clear skies as we head into the work week.
All right, Aaron, keeping us on track of that, and we'll also have the latest online at localnews8.com. And we want to give you a live look from Downey again here, where crews are searching for a missing 70-year-old woman from this home, Ruth Jensen. All the information on her information is online at localnews8.com. We'll also have the latest tonight at 10. We're back at 10. Have a good night, everybody.
Information regarding children's programming on KIFI Local News 8's public file is available for inspection during regular business hours at the main office in Idaho Falls. It can also be found on the web at the following locations. NPG of Idaho is looking for organizations who regularly distribute information about employment opportunities to job applicants or who have job applicants to refer. If your organization would like to receive information regarding employment opportunities at our station, contact Human Resources at 1915 North Yellowstone Highway, Idaho Falls, Idaho. Robin.clegg@localnews8.com. 208-525-8888. NPG of Idaho is an equal opportunity employer and encourages minorities and females to apply.
Know exactly what is happening with the weather. A forecast built with you in mind. The Local News 8 First Alert app is here to help you. Download it today.
Moving now into West Jefferson County, also a good band moving.
A state disaster declaration is already in effect.
This is a local forecast done by the people who know your weather best.
Trust the First Alert Weather Team. We track the beautiful weather and those scattered thunderstorms.
The First Alert app, sponsored in part by Premier Dental Care.
As executive producer of the documentary film The C Word, I've learned the importance of breakthrough approaches to treating cancer. Defeating cancer takes breakthroughs. Talk to your doctor about screenings and especially prevention. Stand up to cancer.
Tonight on World News, the terror plot targeting a passenger plane. Disturbing new details about what the terror suspects plan to do. Were they in direct contact with ISIS? The high alert, investigators in gas masks, and the moment they moved in. Breaking news, the massive blast, police injured, teenage protesters killed, the violent and pivotal day for Venezuela. Escalating tensions, and now the show of force. U.S. bombers conducting drills in direct response to North Korea's latest missile launch. And now President Trump accusing China of doing nothing. White House chaos, day one for the new chief of staff after a series of shakeups. The president raging on Twitter, urging a new strategy on health care.